The galaxy never saw us as a threat. To them, humans were nothing more than a joke, primitive, weak, and barely worth a footnote in the grand cosmic saga. When the Corps Dominion first made contact with Earth, they didn't come as conquerors. They came as collectors. Our homeworld, rich in raw materials but lacking advanced technology, was just another stop in their long list of acquisitions. They took what they wanted: gold, uranium, platinum, leaving behind only scraps and mockery. And we swallowed our pride, watching helplessly as our world was stripped bare. We weren't the only ones. Dozens of other species had suffered the same fate, each one too weak to fight back. The Corps left behind nothing but ruins and resentment, laughing at our primitive ways, calling our ships scrap and our weapons toys. But what they didn't realize, what none of the so-called galactic superpowers realized, was that humanity had something no other species did. We adapted, we survived, and when the time came, we fought back. The first strike. At first, it wasn't much. The resistance was scattered, a handful of engineers, scientists, and soldiers working in secrecy. Our best minds took the abandoned scraps, the worthless junk left behind by the Corps, and turned it into something more. They reverse-engineered alien technology, reforging it into weapons, shields, and starships. Ugly, cobbled-together monstrosities that looked like they belonged in a junkyard. The galaxy laughed when they saw what we built. Then they stopped laughing. Because when the first human scrap fleet took to the stars, it didn't just survive, it tore through entire Corps battle formations, turning their own weapons against them. And that was only the beginning. The Battle of Garan 5, the first real battle, wasn't supposed to be a battle at all. The Corps had grown complacent, confident in their superiority. They had no reason to fear us, a backwater species with no real military presence in space. That's why they didn't even send warships to monitor Earth after they finished looting it. That was their first mistake. Their second mistake, underestimating human desperation. The first human fleet wasn't elegant. It was built from rusted hulls, repurposed mining equipment, and scavenged alien tech that barely worked together. The ships were asymmetrical nightmares, bristling with mismatched weapons, patched armor, and engines that rattled like they might explode at any moment. But they worked. When the Corps finally noticed something was wrong, it was too late. The galaxy's realization. The Corps Dominion, species that had dominated the stars for centuries, had been defeated. Not by another great power, not by a rival empire, but by humans. The same species they had looted, enslaved, and dismissed as primitive scavengers. And that's what terrified them the most. Because humans didn't fight wars like the rest of the galaxy did. The Corps believed in grand fleets, disciplined formations, the sheer overwhelming presence of their warships. But the human fleet, it was chaos, it was madness, and it was devastating. The turning point. By the time the Corps realized the true scale of the threat, it was already too late. Because humanity wasn't just surviving anymore, they were winning. The battle at Vors 12 changed everything. A Corps resupply station, once thought untouchable, fell in hours. Human ships, now sleek, predatory war machines built from the bones of conquered Corps vessels, ripped through defenses like paper. The last transmission from Vors 12 was a panicked, static-laced message. The humans, they're not fighting like primitives anymore. They're silence. The fall of the Dominion. The Corps Dominion collapsed not with a final battle, but with silence. Their fleet stopped responding. Their planets went dark. Their High Council vanished. And humanity, they never declared victory. They never built an empire. They simply disappeared. Now, when alien ships drift too close to the ruins of a Dominion world, their captains refuse to board. When strange readings flicker across deep space scanners, engineers shut them off. Because the galaxy understands now, humanity doesn't need territory. They don't need recognition. They rule from the shadows, and when you see their ships in the dark, it's already too late.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.